Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions. But they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Hurry up, here we go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs in that total. On second down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Room to run past midfield. The 40. 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A big run there by Johnson, and even 50 yards on the ground. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hey, hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Here's Jackson to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winner as you get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20.
All right, here we go.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play that time for Cleveland. 46 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And a look now at the starting offense for the Browns.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think that if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Here we go now.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
Here we go. Brand 38.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Mayfield to throw it this time. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
So now a 3rd and 7, and defensively, it's a dime look. 6 DBs. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Hard throw, incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So a return of serve, so to speak, here on the 2nd drive of our game as they respond to that opening field goal with 3 of their own.
I like that. Go a little tennis on me.
I know you. You like to mix it up with sports.
They crack a forehand back out and they get a backhand. What was the serve? What was the return on?
It was a backhand.
I like that.
Really good backhand.
With some nice top spin on the whole thing. I love it. Almost a mirror image when you really get down to it. I thought that was pretty good stuff.
We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
And here's the starting crew defensively for Cleveland.
I want to highlight Telvin Smith, only the 3rd linebacker in Jacksonville Jaguar history to make a Pro Bowl, but not for that reason. When he came out of Florida State with his build, many were projecting him as a safety in the NFL. About 215 pounds. He's got a little bit bigger, but his ability to run and hit and make plays has made him one of the most valuable linebackers in the NFL. They made the right choice leaving him at that spot.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
First time that they've called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ball start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now it's Jackson, a strong running. That's to his running back, complete. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bullet. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make the play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And that time the tackle by Malik Hooker. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On third down, Mayfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. It's a tight game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
All right, here we go. Green 30.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We've got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat, make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And that is incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
Over the middle to Smith. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Ravens on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
All right, here we go.
Here's Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Browns can grab the lead if they hit the extra point.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and with it, his guys take the lead here by a point. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. From the gun on third down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open. Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. Now Joe Mixon. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another. Yeah,
I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll go option to the short side. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go.
Second down, Mayfield. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. The Browns on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Mayfield now. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into
number 12 on the year. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And they wasted no time, right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front, have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind them.
Lutt's good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. To throw is Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now Jackson on first down, looking deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Higgins. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 7.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Jackson will throw again. The open man is Smith. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He will find Davis on the left side, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A really nice gain of 25 yards. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Higgins. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Set, 3-19.
They go play action with Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete. The Ravens on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 30.
Again, Jackson. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Marcus Mariota leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. And finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. And all the way down to the 35. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open.
Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Mixon. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set. Green.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there. So from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And this one is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Jackson from the shotgun. A quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, Jackson underneath for Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a gain of 9, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Mixon with a first down carry. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Mixon. And some room to maneuver. Nice stiff arm.
Underused, but still effective.
And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. 59 yards for him on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it? So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Here we go now.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 6. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's Jackson to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Though that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's closing in on 200 yards on the ground with the 4th quarter still to come. We're in the 3rd. Good shot to get there.
And now he's got to make sure he convinces his coaching staff to leave him out there and keep touching the ball, because when you've had that kind of a day, there is a tendency to think about getting him out and saving some of it. Running backs never like to save yardage.
You know he's tackled. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Matt Ioannidis in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back, and they did a great job in the first half. And now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. On third down, Mayfield. An open receiver, that's David Njoku. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Lutz now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Higgins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another first down. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now it's Jackson. Screenplay, Johnson. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Set, blue 90, blue 90.
The busy night continues for Johnson. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Jackson now to throw on 3rd down. Uses the spin. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward.
Here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Browns on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This time they face a 3rd and 2. He's got the first down and more past the 40. He's at the 40, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Browns add 6 to their lead. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. Lutz now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Set. Green.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And Davis with it left side. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
Finding room inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 38. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football is carried his...
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Tillman Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now.
Here's Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run around to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
3-19.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So on the big tight end.
Still 1st down.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Let's go. 3-19.
Now a handoff looking right. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, you're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Cleveland, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.